What is this power? Great knowledge sees all in one. Small knowledge breaks down into the many. When the body sleeps, the soul is enfolded in one. The body wakes, the openings begin to function. They resound with every encounter, with all the very business of life, the strivings of the heart. Men are blocked, perplexed, lost in doubt. Little fears eat away the peace of heart. Great fears swallow them whole. Arrows shot at a target, hit and miss, right and wrong. That is what men call judgment, decision. Their pronouncements are as final as treaties between emperors. Oh, they make their point. Yet their arguments fall faster and feebler than dead leaves in autumn and winter. The talks flows out like piss, never to be recovered. They stand at last blocked, bound, and gagged. Choked up like old drain pipes, the mind fails, it shall not see light again. Pleasure and rage, sadness and joy, hopes and regrets, change and stability, weakness and decision, patience and sloth, all are sounds from the same flute, all mushrooms from the same wet mold. Day and night follow one another and come upon us without our seeing how they sprout. Enough, early and late we meet the that, from which these all grow. If there were no that, there would be no this. If there were no this, there would be nothing for all these winds to play on. So far can we go, but how shall we understand what brings it about? One may well suppose the true governor to be behind it all. That such a power works I can believe. I cannot see his form. He acts but has no form. Tao is obscured. When men understand only one of a pair of opposites, concentrate only on a partial aspect of being, then clear expression also becomes muddled by mere wordplay, affirming this one aspect and denying all the rest. Hence the wrangling of Confucians and Maoists. Each denies what the other affirms, and affirms what the other denies. What use is this struggle to set up no against yes and yes against no, but to abandon this hopeless effort and seek true light? There is nothing that cannot be seen from the standpoint of the not I. There is nothing which cannot be seen from the standpoint of the I. If I begin by looking at anything from the viewpoint of the not I, then I do not really see it, since it is not I that sees it. If I begin from where I am and see it as I see it, then it may also become possible for me to see it as another sees it. Hence the theory of so that opposites produce each other, depend on each other, and complement each other. However this may be, life is followed by death, death is followed by life. The possible becomes impossible, the impossible becomes possible. Right turns into wrong, and wrong into right. The flow of life alters circumstances, and thus things themselves are altered in their turn. But disputants continue to affirm and deny the same things they have always affirmed and denied, ignoring the new aspects of reality presented by the change in conditions. The wise man, therefore, instead of trying to prove this or that point by logical disputation, sees all things in the light of direct intuition. He is not imprisoned by the limitations of the I, for the viewpoint of direct intuition is that of both I and not I. Hence he sees that on both sides of every argument there is both right and wrong. He also sees that in the end they are reducible to the same thing once they are related to the pivot of Tao. When the wise man grasps this pivot, he is in the center of the circle, and there he stands while yes and no pursue each other around the circumference. The pivot of Tao passes through the center where all affirmations and denials converge. He who grasps the pivot is at the still point from which all movements and oppositions can be seen in the right relationship. Hence he sees the limitless possibilities of both yes and no, abandoning all thoughts of imposing a limit or taking sides. He rests in direct intuition. Therefore I said, better to abandon disputation and seek the true light. 3 in the morning, when we wear out our minds stubbornly, cling to one partial view of things, refusing to see a deeper agreement between this and its complementary opposite, we have what is called 3 in the morning. What is this 3 in the morning? A monkey trainer went to his monkeys and told them, as regards your chestnuts, you are going to have 3 measures in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. At this, they all became angry, so he said, all right, in that case, I'll give you 4 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. This time they were satisfied. The 2 arrangements were the same in that the number of chestnuts did not change. But in one case, the animals were displeased, and in the other, they were satisfied. The keeper had been willing to change his personal arrangement in order to meet objective conditions. He lost nothing by it. The truly wise man, considering both sides of the question without partiality, sets them both in the light of Tao. This is called following 2 courses at once.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Think you're checking your phone? Stop that. Instead, try the technique from mind science pioneer Jose Silva. You see, when we are awake, our brain is at what is called daytime, the waking level. But when we wake up in the morning, our brain is actually at a different altered state of mind called the alpha frequency. At the alpha frequency, you can command your body to heal itself. At the alpha frequency, you can program your subconscious to remove bad beliefs or even take on new habits. Some even suggest that at alpha, your intuition
is called following 2 courses at once. Cutting up an ox. Prince Wen Hui's cook was cutting up an ox. Out one day, hand down went a shoulder. He planted a foot, he pressed with a knee. The ox fell apart with a whisper. The bright cleaver murmured like a gentle wind. Rhythm, timing like a sacred dance, like the mulberry grove, like ancient harmonies. Good work, the prince exclaimed. Your method is faultless. Method, said the cook, laying aside his cleaver. What I follow is Tao beyond all methods. Then, when I first began to cut up oxen, I would see before me the whole ox, all in one mass. After 3 years, I no longer saw this mass. I saw the distinctions. But now I see nothing with my eye. My whole being apprehends. My senses are idle, the spirit free to work without a plan, following its own instinct, guided by natural line. The secret opening, the hidden space, my cleaver finds its own way. I cut through no joint, chop no bone. A good cook needs a new chopper once a year. He cuts. A poor cook needs a new one every month. He hacks. I have used this same cleaver 19 years. It has cut up 1,000 oxen. Its edge is as keen as if newly sharpened. There are spaces in the joints. The blade is thin and keen. When this thinness finds that space, there is all the room you need. It goes like a breeze. Hence, I have this cleaver 19 years as if newly sharpened. True, there are sometimes tough joints, few of them coming. I slow down, I watch closely, hold back, barely move the blade, and whomp. The pot falls away, landing like a clod of earth. Then I withdraw the blade, I stand still and let the joy of the work sink in. I clean the blade and put it away. Prince Wan Huai said, this is it. My cook has shown me how I ought to live my own life. The man with 1 foot in the marsh pheasant. Kong Wen Xin saw a maimed official whose left foot had been cut off. Penalty in the political game. Kind of man, he cried, is this 1-footed oddity? How did he get that way? Shall we say man did this or heaven? Heaven, he said, this comes from heaven, not from man. When heaven gave this man life, it willed. He should stand out from others and sent him into politics to get himself distinguished. See, 1 foot. This man is different. The little marsh pheasant must hop 10 times to get a bite of grain. She must run 100 steps before she takes a sip of water, yet she does not ask to be kept in a hen run. Though she might have all she desired set before her, she would rather run and seek her own little living uncaged. The fasting of the heart, Yan Huai, The favorite disciple of Confucius came to take leave of his master. "Where are you going?" asked Confucius. "I'm going to Wei." "And what for?" "I have heard that the Prince of Wei is a lusty, full-blooded fellow and is entirely self-willed. He takes no care of his people and refuses to see any fault in himself. He pays no attention to the fact that his subjects are dying right and left. Corpses lie all over the country like hay in a field. People are desperate, but I have heard you, master, say that one should leave the state that is well governed and go to one which is in disorder. At the door of the physician there are plenty of sick people. I want to take this opportunity to put into practice what I have learned from you and see it if I can bring about some improvement in conditions there." "Alas," said Confucius, "you do not realize what you are doing. You will bring disaster upon yourself. Tao has no need of your eagerness, and you will only waste your energy in your misguided efforts. Wasting your energy, you will become confused and then anxious. Once anxious, you will no longer be able to help yourself." The sages of old first sought Tao in themselves, then looked to see if there was anything in others that corresponded with Tao as they knew it. But if you do not have Tao yourself, what business have you spending your time in vain efforts to bring up corrupt politicians into the right path? However, I suppose you must have some basis for your hope of success. How do you propose to go about it? "And why," replied, "I intend to present myself as a humble, disinterested man, seeking only to do what is right and nothing else. A completely simple and honest approach. Will this win his confidence? Certainly not." Confucius replied, "This man is convinced that he alone is right. He may pretend outwardly to take an interest in an objective standard of justice, but do not be deceived by his expression. He is not accustomed to being opposed by anyone. His way is to reassure himself that he is right by trampling on other people. If he does this with mediocre men, he will all the more certainly do it to one who presents a threat by claiming to be a man of high qualities. He will cling stubbornly to his own way. He may pretend to be interested in your talk about what is objectively right, but interiorly he will not hear you, and there will be no change whatever. You will get nowhere with this." Yan Huai then said, "Very well, instead of directly opposing him, I will maintain my own standards interiorly, but outwardly I will appear to yield. I will appeal to the authority of tradition, to the examples of the past. He who is interiorly uncompromising is the son of heaven, just as much as my ruler. I will not rely on any teaching of my own, and will consequently have no concern about whether I am approved or not. I will eventually be recognized as perfectly disinterested and sincere. They will all come to appreciate my candor, and thus I will be an instrument of heaven in their midst. In this way, yielding in obedience to the prince as other men do, bowing, kneeling, prostrating myself as a servant should, I shall be accepted without blame, and others will have confidence in me, and gradually they will make use of me, seeing that it is a desire only to make myself useful and to work for the good of all men. Thus I will be an instrument of men. Meanwhile, all I have to say will be expressed in terms of ancient tradition. I will be working with the sacred tradition of the ancient sages. Though what I say may be objectively a condemnation of the prince's conduct, it will not be I who say it. Tradition itself. In this way I will be perfectly honest, and yet not give offense. Thus I will be an instrument of tradition. Do you think I have the right approach? Certainly not, said Confucius. You have too many different plans of action. When you have not even got to know the prince and observed his character, at best you might get away with it and save your skin, but you will not change anything whatever. He might perhaps superficially conform to your words, but there will be no real change of heart. Yan Huai then said, Well, that is the best I have to offer. Will you, master, tell me what you suggest? You must fast, said Confucius. Do you know what I mean by fasting? It is not easy, but easy ways do not come from God. Oh, said Yan Huai, I'm used to fasting. At home we were poor. We went for months without wine or meat. That is fasting, is it not? Well, you can call it observing a fast if you like, said Confucius, but it is not the fasting of the heart. Tell me, said Yan Huai, what is fasting of the heart? Confucius replied, the goal of fasting is inner unity. This means hearing, but not with the ear, hearing, but not with the understanding, hearing with the spirit, with your whole being. The hearing that is only in the ears is one thing, the hearing of the understanding is another. But the hearing of the spirit is not limited to any one faculty, to the ear or to the mind. Hence it demands the emptiness of all the faculties, and when the faculties are empty, then the whole being listens. There is then a direct grasp of what is right there before you that can never be heard with the ear or understood with the mind. Vesting of the heart empties the...
You don't need a speaker. Your phone's real volume is locked. I'm about to show you a secret that the Android industry
Eternal companion, help us pour out our hearts to you honestly and sincerely. These prayers as our guide help us feel close to you, dear God. Life makes warriors of us all. To emerge the victors, we must arm ourselves with the most potent of weapons. That weapon is prayer. Actions, no place too far. First tell me this, is there some secluded spot in the vicinity where I can go to pray? Ignatin asked. He had just arrived in Breslov, the town whose name the Breslov movement has borne ever since. I know the place that would be most suitable, the Chassid replied, but it's quite far from here. Father, Rebbe exclaimed, what do you mean by far? Far from the mind or from the heart? Reb Nachman later taught, when your heart yearns, distance is no obstacle. And praise my God, I work and I strive, never knowing if I will succeed. You and only you can give hope to my dreams. With your help I am spared wasted efforts. With your blessing, all hardship I endure can bear fruit. You and only you are the key to success in all that I do. Courage to grow, Almighty God, source of all the energy of life. Without you I am helpless. Give me the courage, the physical drive, the emotional energy, and the spiritual will to risk in order to grow, to welcome every challenge as my life unfolds. Full life. O life of the world, grant me a full life, a life which may be considered long because it has been filled with right living, and considered rich because it has been filled with holy acts. Making ends meet, source of all sustenance, sustain me. Nowadays, I even living simply, working only to acquire life's most basic necessities, demands so much. In the black, help me see my way out of this monstrous tangle of debts. The inevitable outlay for my children's needs, those overwhelming expenses and bills, those inescapable medical expenditures, but most of all, dear God, help me keep my account with you in the black. Body and soul, Holy One, grant me the strength to cast off the spiritual sluggishness and indifference which encumber my body. Let my body, together with my soul, soar ever closer to you. Teaching by being, dear God, teach me to embody those ideals I would want my children to learn from me. Let me communicate with my children wisely in ways that will draw their hearts to kindness, to decency, and to true wisdom, dear God. Let me pass on to my children only the good. Let them find in me the values and behavior I hope to see in them. Wholeness and well-being, God of wholeness, God of healing. Envelop us with wholeness and well-being. Heal us in body and soul. Let all the elements of our bodies work together in perfect symmetry and in peaceful harmony. Remove every trace of illness, every hint of infirmity. Send healing which you alone can bring. Sincerity, O you who are infinitely deep, yet also profoundly simple. Help me walk this simple path. Free me from any facade of sophistication, which will only hinder my endless quest to come closer to you. Help me live my life with faith, with sincerity, and with perfect simplicity. Giving, my God, help me become a giver. Help me give, go on giving. You've called on us to be charitable. Show me how. Show me how to give with a pure heart, with an open heart, with a heart filled with joy. Lead me to those who are truly deserving, for giving is so holy an act. Help me find the truly needy and help them find me. true nourishment. Dear God, teach me to eat right and to eat for the right reasons. Keep me from eating the wrong foods and from eating more than I should. Let all that I eat nourish me, never weaken or harm me. Let the food I ingest create a perfect balance within me, in my body, mind, and soul. Gaining perspective. Dear God, I need your guidance. Bring perspective to my life. For the meaningless allures of this world control me. Let me see beyond the coarse requirements of my daily subsistence. Let me bask in that which is truly precious, the beauty of my relationship with you, dear God. Working to live, though I have no choice but to work to support myself. And those who depend on me. My job never dominate my life and psyche. Let me never be so caught up in the pursuit of my livelihood that I stoop to dishonesty in order to get ahead. Let me make no transaction without recognizing that any measure of success I might find, I can come only from you. Oh God, see my pain, see the constant tension and anxiety with which I must function, with which I don't function. Touch my life with your love and your strength. With your wisdom, I have more than I can bear alone. Troubles. Kind, loving, mighty God, stretch out your hand to strengthen me. Lift me up from my abyss, right my wrongs. Turn my every failure into success. Look upon all my troubles and say enough. Priorities, oh God, help me fix within my mind the enduring truths of life. Let my every action be directed towards life's ultimate goals. For how can I face you, my Creator, without having invested all my days in preparation for that moment when I will meet you? How can I face you, source of my life, so long as I remain naked and barren, mired in the fantasies that form the substance of life's illusions? Living to the fullest, dear God, as I age, as hours turn to days. Days to weeks and weeks to months and months to years. Let none of my time be wasted or lost. Let me use my life to the fullest to become the person I am meant to be. In thanks, dear God, all the good I can do in this world will never match all the good you've done for me. All my acts of kindness will never equal all the kindness you've shown me. Even all the gratitude I can muster will never suffice to express my appreciation and thanks to you, my God. Words, Reb Nachman's mantra. I want to pray, to tell God everything I'm going through, and to ask for help, Hassid explained to Reb Nachman. When I'm finally alone and try to pray, the words don't come. Then Rebbe assured him, even just calling out to God, Ribbono Shel Olam, again and again is extremely beneficial. Once when informed that someone was able to recite 1,000 pages of Talmud, Reb No's son responded, yes, that is impressive. Yet there are those of the Rebbe's followers who can repeat the phrase Ribbono Shel Olam 1,000 times. And praise Master of the universe, you listened. One true word, O dear God, for once let me call out to you with one true prayer. Let me think one pure thought, cry, one genuine cry, pray one absolutely sincere prayer to you, dear God. Prayer for healing, God of wholeness, God of healing, hear our words, accept our prayers, and a special blessing of healing to my son or my daughter, or my mother or my father, among all those of your children who are in need of your healing blessing. Openness, dear God, I want to open myself to you wholly, perfectly, and sincerely. I want to tell you about my doubts, my certainties, my weaknesses, my strengths, my failures, my successes. Breaking down the barriers, God, I want to break down every barrier that separates me from you. I want to lay out before you the parts of myself I love, the parts I despise, the parts of myself that are healthy, the parts that need healing, the parts I feel secure enough to speak of, and the insecurities I haven't the courage to share. Crying and sighing the years have brought more pain than ever I imagined possible. When I cry, loving God, let me cry only to you. When I sigh, let that sigh be pure, honest expression of a soul yearning for your light. Crying and sighing, let my cries and sighs heal me and restore me and bring me to joy. Never again succumb to bitterness or depressing thoughts of God. Show me life's meaning. Effective words, God of wisdom, teach me the right words. Teach me the very words that will touch the hearts and souls of others. When a friend needs my understanding ear, teach me the words to say that will strengthen, that will encourage, that will express only my love and concern. Effective silence, God of wisdom, teach me to relate to others with words they need to hear, with words that will never misguide. Teach me, dear God, that often the most effective words are no words at all. Teach me how and when to communicate with that most potent gift of silence. Sensitive speech, God of understanding, guide me, for my own words sometimes baffle me. When I relate to those around me insensitively, when I hurt, embarrass, or insult them, when I speak with a callousness that causes pain, when I lose myself in my own ego, God, pull me back to reality. Help others understand that I too am in pain, and let them be forgiving. Harmful words, oh God, help me avoid every abusive speech. Let no untrue word escape my lips. I pray that I never speak badly of others or speak empty words of flattery. Help me stay away from profanity. Teach me, dear God, when to keep silent and when to speak. And when I speak, oh God, you save me from using your wonderful gift of speech to humiliate or hurt anyone. Lies, ruler of the world, grant me truth. Spare me from the lies of others. Help me stop myself from lying to others. Save me from lying to myself and spare me from the lies of my own illusions. God, never let me live a lie, even for only a moment. Holy sounds, oh God, your creation resonates with holy sounds. Let me hear them all. Let them penetrate my heart and rouse my senses. The jangle of a charity box, the voice of a faithful teacher, even the intonation of my own sigh when I cry out to you, all these sounds are holy. God, let my heart hear them, and all be uplifted.
Nothing makes me want to procrastinate more than shopping for car insurance. Just swipe, boom.
And thanks, God, for my only support. You taught me to pray, to sigh, to cry, to awaken true, meaningful words from deep within, words that strengthen, words that ease my pain and heal my wounds, words that dispel darkness. Thank you, God, for opening my lips, for teaching me to seek you through prayer. Feelings. Praying for what you need, Reb Nachman taught. When it comes to praying for what you need, there is nothing too insignificant to ask of God. Reb Nosson once happened to mention to Reb Nachman some minor convenience that he was lacking, then asked God to give it to you. The Reb advised him. It was completely astounded, Reb Nosson relates, would never have considered turning to God for something so trivial, which in any case I could have managed without. Noting my surprise, the Reb added, "Tell me, is it beneath your dignity to pray for something so minor? No matter what you need, the best thing you can do is pray for it." And praise, dear God of compassion. Your mercies are with me always, every moment of my life. With each breath I take, only you can love me so completely, so unconditionally, so profoundly. If people care for me, it is only because you care for me. If any of my words find their way into the hearts of others, it is nothing more than a reflection of your all-encompassing presence in my life. Compassion, loving God, you who are full of compassion, teach me to be like you. Teach me to be kind and generous and loving, just as you are kind and generous and loving to all your creations. Please help me develop true sensitivity and genuine compassion toward everything in creation. Joy, God, I stand between and battered by the countless manifestations of my own inadequacies. Yet we must live with joy, overcome despair, seek, pursue, and find every inkling of goodness, every positive point within ourselves, and so discover true joy. Aid me in this quest, O God. Help me find satisfaction and a deep, abiding pleasure in all that I have, in all that I do, in all that I am. Positive attitude. Merciful God, let me experience your mercy. Save me from pessimism, from bitterness, and from cynicism. Help me overcome my negative feelings. Help me avoid every form of arrogance, every hint of greed. Loving protection. Loving God, protect me with your love. Prevent others from viewing me with hostility. Never allow the negativity of others to influence my life or affect my destiny. Seeing the good, oh good, it is so simple to find the evil, the ugly, the bad. Help me learn to discount all that is negative in the other. Show me the goodness, the beauty, the kindness in everyone I meet. Power of love. Teach me to search for the fine qualities in others, to recognize their immeasurable worth. Teach me to cultivate a love for all your children. No one is without redeeming value. Let the good in me connect with the good in others until all the world is transformed through the compelling power of love. Soulmate, oh loving God, so many in your world live without true love. So many cannot find their soulmate. Have mercy on them, O source of all love. Let every lonely and incomplete soul know the wholeness of being that comes when one finds one's true love. Living in love, God of mercy, God of love, it is sometimes difficult, so painfully difficult to sustain a harmonious home life, to maintain a marriage based on true friendship and love. Let never a hint of argument, frustration, or suspicion cloud our relationship. We needed an extra measure of compassion to understand and care for one another with genuine sensitivity and with open acceptance. Let abundant peace fill our home. Peace, God, help me learn to cherish peace, to pursue peace, to promote peace. Save me from the need to be always right, which leads only to tension and strife. Oneness, God, help me forge a oneness between myself and others, between myself and my spouse, between myself and my children. Help me forge a oneness of the many selves within me. Help me become one with you. Learning to wait, God of patience, teach me patience. Help me learn to wait for the good that is just around the corner, for the assistance that will soon be within my reach, for the relief that is just a moment away. In a calm, patient God, teach me to be patient, unruffled by those who anger, tolerant of those who exasperate, accepting of those who disappoint. Help me may remain serene in the face of derision, calm in the face of provocation, composed in the midst of a storm. And God, teach me to be patient with myself. Forgiving God, you alone know how urgently I need to learn to forgive. Help me douse all the anger that burns within me. Free me of resentment against those who have wronged me. Help me abandon all the animosity, all the hostility that clogs my heart. Help me turn my anger into love, and my enmity into compassion. God, I never want to become angry. Protect me from my own passions. Don't let me lose myself to small-mindedness, resentment of others. Guard me from turning my temper against anything or anyone, even and especially against myself. A peaceful disposition, teach me, O God, to seek only peace. Save me from every form of argument, controversy, and quarrel. Liberate me from every type of misunderstanding and strife. Where there is no peace, there can be no joy, there can be no love, there can be no true presence of mind. Dear God, let me be mine to share. Contentment, dear God, save me from wanting what is not mine. Protect me from my own jealousy, from desiring the money or the possessions, the position or the honor that belong to another. Let me trust in you enough to believe that what is meant to be mine will come to me. Let me trust in you enough to be satisfied with all that I have today. Self-esteem, dear God, let me feel close to you. Grant me satisfaction with my life. Let me rejoice in that closeness, and let me turn with that satisfaction into a sense of self-worth, not one based in arrogance or in feelings of self-importance, but humble as self-esteem rooted in holiness. Arrogance, dear God, free me of false pride. Free me of the arrogance that accompanies an inflated self-image. Spare me from haughtiness, from the overloaded ego which stems from an empty self. Let me learn to feel good about myself. Let me never feel the need to belittle anyone in order to find value and worth, in order to feel valued and worthy. A haven of joy. Teach me the meaning of joy, dear God, strong, deep, genuine, and pure joy. Don't let me succumb to feelings of sadness, loneliness, and depression. Teach me to turn to you with my every problem, frustration, anxiety, and pain. Accept my broken heart, heal me, and shelter me in a haven of joy. Clapping and dancing, dear God, stir my heart with a spirit of joy. Imbue my arms and my legs with that spirit. For my arms are encumbered, and my legs have become heavy with my wrongdoings. Fill me, my God, with the cleansing spirit of holy joy. Enliven all my limbs. Help me raise my hands and clap. Help me lift my feet and dance, dance, dance. Overcoming loss, dear God, suddenly I'm alone, I'm in pain as I search for some source of comfort. The world so full, so bustling, seems so empty now. It's cold and it's frightening. In this hollow that is me, in this hollow that once brimmed with confidence and joy. God pulled me back to the world of the living, back to a life of action and human relationships. And thanks, loving, caring God, all that happens in fulfillment in my life come only from you. Knowing how absolute in my dependence on you, I find peace of mind. Your presence suffuses my life, caressing me with hope, joy, and love. I've tasted your love, I've known your compassion, experienced your patience, and I am filled with gratefulness. Thoughts. An entirely new world. It is impossible to describe how wonderful it was in those early years, Reb Nachman said to the Hasid. They were strolling through the outskirts of the village where the Reb had spent the first years of his marriage worshiping and serving God in relative anonymity. With each step I took in these fields, praying and calling out to God, I experienced yet another taste of paradise. On another occasion, Rabbi Nachman described what it was like returning home after a day spent crying his heart out to God in the fields or forest. Coming back, everything appeared different to me. The world seemed entirely new. In praise of God, I only begin to realize how very much you've done for me. I must now internalize the understanding that everything that happens to me, everything is an expression of your everlasting love, of your concern for my ultimate good. God, as I recognize all your goodness, as your kindness fills my thoughts, I sing your praise. Light of awareness. God, let me comprehend all that I see with the light of awareness. Let me understand whatever touches my life in a deep and intimate way, in a way that embraces both the adult and the child within me. Enveloped in faith, my God, you and only you know how strongly I want to believe in you, to put all my faith in you alone. Help me make this desire a reality. Help me perceive your presence and draw strength from it. Every moment of my life, through every trial I face, let that recognition bolster my faith in you wherever I go, whatever I do. Accepting God's justice, God, help me see. Help me understand all that I see in the light of your truth and the light of your ultimate justice. When I see the success of the wicked, help me realize that it is but an illusion. Nothing authentic, nothing real. Real success, true good, absolute happiness are found only with you, the God of truth, and one day I will see it, experience it, and know it. overcoming doubts, my vision is distorted. Living God of truth, I want to see clearly, but my heart leads me through twisted, convoluted paths of misunderstood impressions. Straighten those paths so that I can strengthen myself in the conviction of my beliefs. Learning life's lessons. Dear God, let my heart grasp the profound wisdom with which you created the world. Let me understand that life's difficulties are in fact her opportunities. Life's endings are also her beginnings. Life's disappointments are her finest teachers. Learning life's lessons, dear God, let my heart grasp the profound wisdom with which you created me. Help me understand that my vulnerabilities, in fact, open me to growth. My limits draw me to new frontiers. My very failures teach me to succeed. Perceptions, body and soul, Holy One, grant me the wisdom to bring harmony to the alliance of my body and soul. Let them rise together in my devotion to you. My soul perceives your light. Let my body discern it too. My soul sounds your praise. Let my body sing it too. Focus prayer, oh dear God. I want to pray, but the distractions are never ending. Please help me overcome them. Help me be wholly focused for once. Help me pray only true, totally heartfelt words to you, dear God. Wise counsel, oh God, how can I make my way through the confusion and uncertainty that clouds so much of what I do? Guide me to wise teachers and mentors whose advice is pure and in tune with your will. Guide me to true friends whose counsel is caring and promotes my best interests. Guide me to clear, correct decisions, to conclusions that are sound and free of all doubt. Clarity and assurance, oh God, grant me clarity and assurance in whatever I do. Teach me to trust in wise teachers, to learn from their insightful words, to teach me to trust true friends, to treasure their care and concern. Teach me to trust in myself, to judge my own course correctly, and so to live with conviction and hope.
It's a feeling more than a substance.
Icarus. Fictional character, it's a food giant and stuff like that.
Qualia. What is qualia mean?
Icarus. I heard Icarus.
I just said that I've been saying Icarus for 1 month.
See, so I heard Icarus, right?
Yeah, you're not right.
Thank you. So I'm happy that I hear words correctly.
Yeah,
Stop fucking gaslighting me, Tim boy.
I was telling you what she was saying.
yeah.
She said Icarus.
Yeah,
Some guy. You thought she meant some guy.
Because she said,
so that's it. That's
okay, I'm not gonna go round and round, tit for tat for you, Tim boy.
The funny thing is, I thought that the ceremony was named after the first. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? I also acquired the tradition, right? I thought that he would explain it to me in a more, feeling way, maybe. Because I think it's, Steve did say, like, it's more mystical than just, like, superficially physical. But I get why people do it. I get the deal.
It was commanded. It was actually commanded. That's why. It wasn't.
It's not what it is. Oh,
That's what I mean. Like you would actually have to. Daniel pretty much try to give some of you how you guys had a point, but there's so much more to it. You have to kind of read through it. But people don't just feel like you can do this in remembrance of me.
I
So
see. I get it. I think it's extremely important to keep it along. And I have always supported like traditions, like all these physical acts. And I know people a lot don't do it. But I think when you do it, the tradition is kept alive, the memory is kept alive.
It's commanded, so it's the Lord commanded. It's not an option. So for the church to not do it would be a disobedience to its Lord. That's what the point I'm making is that it's not just a feeling, it's not just what you feel like doing, it's not just, oh, you know what, it might, no, it's none of that, it's that. It's a command to keep doing this every time they come together until the end of time. And to not do it like some other things would be in disobedience to the command.
One could make the argument that it is commanded because in the great knowledge of God, who is all good, right? This act is an act of goodness. And thereby, like, perhaps it is to keep the memory. Like, you can have an explanation for it too, right? Like, is there no explanation given? Is it just saying you have to do it?
What about all the churches that don't practice the Eucharist? Well, then you pretty much not just done commanding, but the history behind it, the meaning, is pretty much gave a nice, pretty good summary of what it is, why it is, where it comes from. So you say it was commanded, right? Does that mean it's commanded for all to practice?
Yeah, that should be true. Is that the question? Jim, is that true? Yes.
Because there are a lot of churches that don't practice the Eucharist. So is it commanded for all to do? If you believe in Him, yeah. If you should know, you follow Him, yeah. Well, a lot of people do believe in the Lord and they follow the Lord. However, they don't receive the Eucharist. Okay. So I can say a lot of things. Until when God's going to meet you where you're at. So, meaning, so you're going to be held in contempt or at least accountable to your knowledge and your understanding. So it's really up to you. I mean, it's truly true when they say ignorance is bliss, man. I would say a lot of atheists are pretty privileged if you know what I mean. I have no idea what that word salad was supposed to mean, but thanks for sharing, Rico. Yeah, for in other words, you don't know any better. That's already. I don't know any better in reference to what, Rico? Metaphysics. You too, I know it's atheists have like it's a mental block of understanding what metaphysics is. Because your belief is an approach to things, which is scientific method can fill in the gaps in epistemic knowledge, which is probably is multi-knowledge, to be honest. So it's not itself, it's right. And continues to improve upon itself. I see your question. So is it NASA, please give me permission to speak, NASA. I'm trying to figure out why atheists can't want to talk about it. I'm still trying to understand that. It's a fictional character that you hate, right? It's just a lot going on with it. Yes, this is my body, this is my blood. Take it in remembrance of me.
Oh, happy I am to see you, okay?
Not just why you always so happy to see you, because
Wait, she's putting on a bra. From the front. I finally under.
Seeing light in darkness, God of unfathomable goodness, the history of human agony haunts my soul. Ashes, blood, and cries pierce my heart. Diabolic schemes of oppressors plague my mind. Grant me an extra measure of strength, understanding, and faith to help me find you, to discover your light amidst the blinding dread through the revolting horror. Sorting through confusion, God of truth, help me sort through the dizzying confusion of my life. My mind swirls with all that I've seen and that I've read. All that's happened to me, teach me to focus, to prioritize, to see with clarity, so that I can move on with my life. A humble spirit, dear God, guide me along the path of sincere humility. If I ever put on airs, stop me. Bless me with a humble spirit, with eyes that see only the good in people, with a mind always open to others' opinions, with a heart who's caring of their concerns. Teach me to humble myself even before the lowliest of your children, whose very brokenness brings them closer to you. Finding good. Oh, loving God, help me discover and uncover all that is good, all that is positive in the world. Camouflaged though they may be, let me find those elusive sparks of holy light. Let me perceive all the beauty and truth hidden within your creation. Finding good when I am confronted with baseness and evil. Let all the bad fall away before me. Let all the good and goodliness that lies hidden within everyone I meet shine forth and emerge as a grand reflection of beauty and light. Losing control. Oh, how much good I've lost in losing control of my anger. Such a large portion of my life. So much growth I've let slip from my hands by allowing my burning thoughts to get the better of me. God, teach me to let go. Maintaining perspective, oh God, please help me comprehend that life in this world is fleeting, hardly more than a fantasy. At this moment I am here, as are those around me. Where will I be? Where will they be? In an hour, in a day, in a year, or in 10? Help me hold in my mind an image of the world that awaits me, of the life eternal that will follow my stay in this place of momentary fascination and reverie. And thanks my God, it has taken me time, but I'm finally learning to trust you. When I called, you answered, and when I cried, you sent relief. When I was in need, you came through. You are there for me in every instance. I need only look, think, and understand, and I can always find you. There you are, always ready to help. Thank you, God, for waiting for me. Will wanting to wait in one of his most powerful statements, Rebbe Nachman unequivocally characterizes the facet of the human psyche which functions below the threshold of consciousness. The young man was bemoaning the difficulties he was encountering in his attempts to come closer to God. But I really want to be a good Jew, he insisted to Rebbe Nachman. But, said the Rebbe, do you really want? And praise God, you've given me the physical, emotional, and spiritual will to overcome so many obstacles that have risen before me. How many times have I faced what I perceived to be impossible, hopeless situations, and withstood them, and discovered creative solutions through which to surmount and master them. You strengthened me again and again. I know that you will never fail me. In God's will, merciful God, I know how very much you care for me. You've made me in accordance with your will. Why then don't I always want to be that which you've made me? Why do I so often fall short of all that you want me to be? In God's will, God, I want to be so many things, to do so much, to achieve so endlessly. But can anyone be everything, do everything, have everything? You alone understand the fragile balance of my soul. You invested in me the potential to make of that balance a perfect creation. Now help me fashion myself into just such a creation, in accordance with your will. overcoming negative traits. Oh God, help me perfect every element of my humaneness. Help me overcome all my negative traits, all my evil motivations. Teach me to turn bad into good. Building good traits help me grow. Teach me to strive for a soul that is pure and flawless. Let my every characteristic be impervious to evil. Surely then I can hope that I, in my very humaneness, might merge with the holiness of your existence. Perfection of the soul. God, perfect soul, you created me destined for perfection. How far have I wandered from that destiny? How much of my purity have I squandered through careless, thoughtless, self-centered behavior wanting immorality and holiness? The soul's recovery. There must be a way I can regain decency and virtue. There must be a way I can recapture the purity and perfection of my soul. God, lead me there. Don't turn me away. Open your hands and welcome me back. The gift of free will, God of wonders, you've given me the most wonderful of all gifts, the gift of free will. May my will never deviate from your holy will. Guide me always so that all the choices I make are good ones, choices that are in harmony with your will as long as I live. A world of responsibility, architect of the world, author of her story, grant me the courage to participate in the world's design, to join the unfolding of her story. I want to share in the responsibility of this world, to pray for her welfare, to care for her needs, to safeguard her treasures, to work for her rectification. Suffering the word of God, teach me to begin anew, to renew myself along with all the creation, just as you renew the entire world each day. Show me how I can break free of the constraints of my habits, the restraints of my insecurities, the shackles of my unwarranted fears. Fresh start, teach me, dear God, to make a fresh start, to break yesterday's patterns, to stop telling myself I can't where I can. I am not when I am, I'm stuck when I am eminently free. The way home, center of all existence, help me find the way to that sacred sanctuary within myself, to the precious center of my existence. Help me discover my place in the world, that space where I truly belong, a space which belongs unconditionally to me. Dear God, I've wandered for so very long. Help me find my way home. Healing my life, dear God, what a mess I've made of my life. A hopeless mess. How will I ever right all that I've wronged, restore all that I've ruined, fix all that I've destroyed? Only you can help me, dear God. If you don't help me, what hope is there? Help me and heal my life. Reaching for wholeness, compassionate God, healer of my body, healer of my soul, heal me, strengthen my ailing body, soothe my aching heart, mend my shattered existence, make me whole. Rejuvenation, master of the world, you know the bitterness of my anguished heart, of my painful wounds, of my afflicted soul. It is more than I can bear, I beg you. Soften and sweeten the bitterness. Give me strength and courage, for my remedy too must certainly be bitter. My rejuvenation will not come easily. Healer of all, heal me. Measure of eternity, eternal God, grant me a measure of eternity. Lend me some permanence to this temporal life of mine. Grant health, happiness, and long life to my children and to their children, and as long as they live, some part of myself will survive, something of me will live on in this world. Give me life, dear God, and life to those who come after me. Children, loving God, what is the purpose of our children? Is there any treasure for those who can't be found? God, guide them well, dear God, and help them to set right dreams. Letting go, dear God, help me to live with dignity and wisdom. As the twilight fades, cast their shadow. Let my mind remain clear at peace with the world and with itself. Let my hands be filled with promises and hopes. Let my need for utterance satisfied, my affection Let my anger, my regrets over all that might have been. Ageless aging, teach me, God, to live out my days focused on all that is meaningful in life, as unaccountable aches and pains multiply, as memory and retention fade. Teach me to relate to my physical existence with an ever-expanding recognition of its transient nature. Teach me to relate to my soul with an ever-expanding awareness of her eternal nature and ageless worth. Approaching God, my soul thirsts for you. Oh God, will I ever deserve to feel you beside me? There are so many obstacles that keep me from being what I want to be, a good person, a God-conscious person. But only I myself can change this. Help me make the effort to come closer to you. Help me long and yearn and strive for your nearness. True to self, my God, teach me to be true to myself. Never let me be swayed by the approval or the disapproval of others. Let me learn to depend on no one but you and to look nowhere but within to come to know my true self, that person I really am. In tune with God, oh dear God, be with me and help me strive to come close, to be fully committed to you. Let every part of me, physical, emotional, and spiritual, join in focused determination to fulfill your will. May my thoughts, my emotions, my words, and all my actions be wholly in tune with you. And thanks, oh God, I can never thank you enough for leading me toward the path to wholeness in life. You've shown me how to make my desires akin to your will, the way to rectification and renewal, to deep solace and healing, to meaning and eternal tranquility. It's only through actively seeking your will. Thank you, God, for leading me to that understanding.
Bill Gibson? Where's Bill Gibson?
Oh, hey, Catherine? Hey, what do you do?